Nebraska's 2022 football season is only a few days away. And as it approaches, I was thinking about what players that I want to see the most. They're not the most important players. They're probably not the most key players in positions, but they're just a list of 5 players that I'm kind of interested in seeing how they do. And I'm John Johnston with Core Nation. Please subscribe to my channel because there's going to be a lot of streaming this year, and it will be fun. So I took my list of 5 that I made, and I stuck it in our Core Nation Slack room where we communicate as a bunch of writers about article ideas and things like that. And the first response was, there's no quarterback. You have to include a quarterback. So as a bonus pick, I am going to include a quarterback. And I know we're all interested in the quarterbacks. The quarterbacks are the big cheese guys. They get all the headlines. They get all the blame. And I'm going to pick Chubba Purdy. Just because the little bit that we got to see out of the quarterbacks in the spring game, I thought Chubba Purdy was very athletic and very strong. And he made one play that sticks out in my mind where he's moving to the right and he throws on the run. And it was a pretty good pass. And I thought that guy's very athletic. He can move. I don't know how much he's going to get on the field. We obviously know that Casey Thompson's a starting quarterback. But we have a lot of quarterbacks this year, and there should be a lot of options, no pun intended. Chubba Purdy is the quarterback in here. It's kind of a bonus pick because I still have the 5 guys to go. So the first guy on my list is Methos. And the reason for that should be kind of obvious. We haven't seen a guy that really rushed the quarterback really well at Nebraska since like Randy Gregory in 1845. It's been a long time. And it would be nice to see a guy who could put fear in the heart of our opponent's quarterbacks. And I'm specifically actually thinking about the end of the season when we play Iowa and they have those big statue quarterbacks, those guys that just stand there, and Methos could hit one of them like a, Mr. Potato Head being smashed into a wall where all his pieces fly off. That would be pretty cool. I'd like to see an Iowa quarterback just explode and they'd have to stick him back together to put him on the field after Methos hit him. And I hope he can do that throughout the entire season. It'd be fun. The next guy up seems to have kind of disappeared. Alonzo Brown. He doesn't seem to get a lot of mentions. I know they're looking at Trey Palmer for like return guy or Tommy Hill. But I get Alonzo Brown only has not played a whole lot, but when he has, he seems to be very explosive, very shifty. I think that he's a guy that if you give him a chance, he can make some plays. And I'd like to see him in a returner position, like punt returner. Because did you know last year we had 27 punt return yards? Like all season? 27 for this season. I mean, you can't fail that badly in doing that part of the game. So Alonzo Brown, I would just like to see him get a chance at punt returning and just to see if he could do anything back there. Next up, Ramir Johnson. I find Ramir Johnson interesting because I know that we have a gob of running backs. And I think that Ramir Johnson is interesting to me in all the other things he can do besides being a running back, like be a slot receiver, do something where they put him in a formation and, maybe he's a third option guy if they run a triple option. They don't use a fullback in this offense, but they can still run a triple option, pitch it out to a wide receiver. They did that last year. Ramir Johnson could be that guy. I think that he's like Alonzo Brown. He's shifty. He's fast. He can make some plays. I think that, putting a Ramir Johnson on the field at the same time you have another running back like Gabe Irvin, or Anthony Grant, I think it just gives the offense a different twist that other teams are just going to be a little bit worried about as the season goes on. If we can get our execution down, Ramir Johnson, playmaker, we're going to see where he makes his plays from. I thought I should pick one of the special teams specialists on this list, and I looked at Timmy Bleakroad or Brian Buscemi. A place kicker that's going to score points versus a punter that we hope shifts the field. Which one do you think is more important? I am going to go with the punting because this is the Big Ten and punting is winning. And I just think that it would be nice for us to have a guy who could actually flip the field at times And that is an enormous part of the game, again, that we have been missing. Kind of like punt returning, punting, flipping the field, putting the other team at a disadvantage, burying them in their end zone, and hopefully where they can have a chance to make a mistake, like throw a pick six to one of our defensive backs or something like that. So Brian Bussey, punter, hope to God he lives up to whatever billing he's had and can boom some stuff, because again, it's a huge part of the game that Nebraska has been missing for a while. The number one guy out of all these guys on our football team this year that I want to see do well is Bryce Benhart. And part of that is personal. In a lot of YouTube videos, I have just been very profane about Bryce Benhart. And Bryce Benhart has been terrible at times. There's at least 2 games I can remember where he gave up sacks and Adrian Martinez got hit, coughed up the ball, and it cost us badly. And I would love for Bryce Benhart to be the right tackle that we all want at right tackle. I know left tackle's the guy who protects the quarterback's blind side, but if we can get Bryce Benhart and he can be, I don't know, honorable mention all Big Ten, it may be close to that even, that works out a lot of stuff for our offense. Because if he can't do that, then somebody has to slide over and help him. Center has to come over, the guard has to come over, or worse yet, you have to have a running back that stays in and helps pass protect. And then what are you going to do for checkdowns? Whereas Bryce Benhart, if he can do pass protection pretty well, or as I have screamed at him, if you can't block a guy, hold him, because they don't call holding. It's okay sometimes to get holding penalties if the worst thing you can do is give up a sack or your quarterback coughing up the ball. But Bryce Benhart, right tackle, if he can get that straightened out, I think we could run to both sides of the field efficiently. We could pass block on both sides of the field efficiently, be able to put a running back that stays in for a moment and then moves into the middle of the field for a check down. I think that adds just a big boost to our offense. So Bryce Benhart is actually the number one guy I want to see perform well this year. And plus he's an lineman, right? We love our linemen. And we want an offensive line that does well. And that is all about Bryce Benhart. Here's to hoping. John Johnston, Coordination. I hope you're all doing well. We're only a few days away. Thanks for watching. Go Big Red.